Vice Chair of Basildon Side by Side, and well, three hats. So Councillor, Vice Chair of Basildon Side by Side, and also Deputy Mayor for Basildon. So it's an honor to be here this evening. So Basildon Side by Side, we are celebrating our second year anniversary this evening, and that is why we are all here. So we hope that you will enjoy the rest of the evening, you will enjoy the entertainment for the rest of the evening. But as we are here, I'm going to bring somebody to join me here on stage, Dr. Upaka, who's the chairperson for Basildon Side by Side. He's been working tirelessly, sleeplessly for the last 2 years to make sure that we're all still standing. Can we give a warm welcome to Dr. Upaka?
Hello everyone. Hello. Yes, we would have started a bit earlier than now, but we were waiting for some other logistics to be in place. So I thank everyone who is here. Some of our invited guests will leave early for other commitments. I just want to start with who we are. Here we are Basildon Side by Side. And we have the pleasure to have one of the top councillors who actually established Basildon Side by Side. It was the mayor there in 2020. We established in 2020 in response to Black History Month. We've grown from strength to strength. Who we are, we've already covered. I mean, if you go to our website, you'll see a lot of activities we're doing. Now, what we've achieved, since the mini launch, we've been able to get partnership agreements with Basildon councils, so they're part of what we're doing. We have a strong political will behind what we do, and we've been able to discover new communities that we never knew existed. So we led the Queen's Jubilee for Basildon Council, the picnic, a street picnic, and it went very well. And then we've been part of the Diwali, the Indian annual festival. We actually celebrated the first South Asian Heritage Month in Basildon. That was August last year. And that went very well. I thank the Chinese community that were part of that event. And you can see that in their blue colors. You're all welcome. I said, yes. The Chinese community has been part of what we do. It deserves a lot of happiness. And recently, we've been discovering new communities. We have the police community, we have the South American communities. Now we have the Indigo group. Monikipa is coming. She's from the, yes, she's from the Asian, the Indian community. So we are in partnership, what is called a partnership with SS India. It's a large organization. So everything we're doing, it's actually a contribution from the different communities we reached out to. And they are part of us, and we are part of them. So our we are three directors, the Deputy Mayor, and Dr. Akitare and myself. So we've been steering Basildon side by side, and we have 6 thematic groups: education led by Mr. I, social cohesion by Reverend David. We have the health and well-being led by myself. We have the policing and hate crime led by Deputy Mayor, and I thank the commander, the police commander, yes, Wahid Khan, who is representing the Chief Constable of Essex. So thank you, sir, for coming, what we do, and celebrate with us. This is our 2nd anniversary. Thank you very much. And this is Dr. Ray. Yes. Let me have a Dr. Ray.
Good evening, everyone, and as part of Basildon Side by Side, we welcome you all because we are all together, and what Basildon Side by Side means is like us together. What we want to celebrate with Basildon Side by Side is celebrating the diversity and inclusiveness and cohesive nature of our community. A lot of us has made this country our home, coming from a different country, but we want to celebrate our life, our culture, our difference in this country all together, and that's why we all are here. Thank you very much all to make this Basildon Side by Side journey so wonderful for last 2 years. It was not an easy journey. It was a little bit of bumpy ride because of the COVID pandemic, etc. But we are here, and we are here for a long haul, and we will do it together. Thank you.
Okay, so I think one of the interesting things about Basildon Side by Side, as we've just heard from Dr. Kupaka, was formulated on the back of Black Lives Matter that arose from the murder of George Floyd in America. So I think the intention was we start building our community together so that we can prevent, so it's more of an early prevention kind of movement for preventing that kind of thing happening here in our own locality and of course across the UK as well. So it was started a long time ago, and as we know, David Burton Sampson was part of that. That's why he's here this evening to share with us, and we'll be hearing from him very soon. But what does the future hold for Basildon Side by Side? As we've started to work in our communities and start to finally reach out to more communities from the BAME community in Basildon, it's been quite an interesting journey. It's been an interesting journey because we've heard different stories of why some communities are not engaging and how they are happy to engage with Basildon Side by Side. There seems to be some sort of, we're not too sure what is causing the barriers of reaching out to the wider community. So you see that people are working in their little, in their own community, not necessarily little, but in isolation to the rest of the community. And I know that the work that we've still got to do with these communities is a lot, because we've got to build their trust, we've got to build their confidence, we've got to show that they can actually believe in us as Basildon Side by Side, and it helps to be in partnership with the Basildon Council, because we can work with the Basildon Council, helping them to really understand how the community works and how the importance of them playing their role in the community as well. And rising up, actually, it's more for our next generation, it's for the children. For the rest of us, maybe by the time we nail Basildon Side by Side together, we might be walking on sticks with them. But I know that I might not, I might still not, but maybe you will. But it's a gradual process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. We recognize that. In trying to manage that, we have got a calendar for this year, which is which has listed out everything that every community needs to deliver. And then we've got the challenge of now juggling it to make sure that there's coverage, there's finance, there's support from the communities, whether it's the council, whatever those communities want. It's our job as Basildon Side by Side to make it happen. So it's a challenging organisation, and it comes with its challenges, and of course even the challenges of working together as different people from different backgrounds, different cultures in an organization itself is challenging, let alone trying to bring together the diverse communities that we have in Basildon. So we understand the logistics, we understand the challenges, but we are still working together to make sure that Basildon is more integrated and love is shared across all communities and all cultures. So the future is bright. And okay, just very quickly for those of us that are here this evening, just to recognize the dignitaries that we've got in the room tonight before we go to the first entertainment for this evening. So we're fortunate that we invited the Lord Lieutenant of Essex, and tonight she is represented by the Deputy Lord Lieutenant, who's a friend of ours, a consultant to Basildon Side by Side, is Sidra Nahim. Can we just give her a round of applause? We're very fortunate in Basildon because we've got people from the BAME community that are the first BAME to represent the Queen, the King, in Essex. So she's the first BAME person to represent the King of England now. She was the Queen that she was representing, the King of England across the whole of Essex. And that actually is something to be celebrated, and we're delighted that she's part of the organisation Basildon Side by Side. We're also delighted to have with us this evening the leader of the council for Basildon Council, Councillor Andrew Baggett. If I call him, he's my boss. So be nice to him, everyone. Be nice to him. And we're very fortunate to have with us from the police, representing the police tonight, and we will hear from him later on, Commander Wahid Khan. Thank you for joining us. We've also got with us from National Lottery Fund. You must know that a lot of the work that we do would not be possible unless we had some good backers, is what I can say. So we have Ruth Stevens from National Lottery Fund. She believes in us. She believes in us. She invested in us. And actually, it was through some of her advice and some of her pushing that got Basildon Council on our side as well. So we've got to recognize. Can you give her a big round of applause? Of course, this evening, we've also, we've invited this evening to join us the Mayor of Basildon, Councillor Luke Mackenzie. He's not able to join us this evening, so I will be representing him a little bit later on when I do his speech but mine. Does that make sense? I'm taking his space, but in my own words. That's what I'm doing, because he did dedicate it to me. So sincere apologies that you couldn't be here tonight. So without spending too much time, I'm going to welcome to the floor the first entertainer for us tonight, Monadeepa from the Indian community, to give us an interesting dance. You're going to enjoy it, and actually I might want to get all of you standing up to do an Indian dance. Yes? Okay.
An Indian classical dancer who has excellent knowledge of Indian classical dance form from Bharatanatyam and Odissi. She is also trained in creative and complementary dance styles. Being trained in multiple genres, she has always been versatile during her own presentation. Being a promising artist in the era of dance, from the age of 15, she has started traveling to different parts of India, taking part in prestigious Indian dance festivals. She has also traveled to lots of South Asian countries like Bangladesh and Thailand as a guest performer and choreographer. She has bagged many awards for her remarkable performance. I would like to mention some of her remarkable achievements among many. She has done Masters in Odissi dance and awarded by Sunil Smriti Basu Puraskar in the convocation ceremony of the university. She has received Sangit Bhaskar title for both Odissi and Bharatanatyam dance style. She won the gold medal in All India Dance Competition. She is awarded by Nritya Mani title in 2012. She has got Juba Seaman Scholarship and stood winner in television-based dance competition. She believes learning and sharing are two most important things. She believes in learning and sharing are two most important things to keep yourself up to date. Besides her rigorous classical dance training, she was also selected as a licensed Zumba instructor in 2019. We have witnessed our Zumba and Odissi performances in different events of Basildon Side by Side and Essex Indian. And again, she and her husband Shaurav, they are going to do a body flex session in upcoming Essex Indians Holi on 12th of March at Basildon Leisure Club. So today her first performance is a folk dance. And it's a folk dance from western part of India. This is called Garba. And what happens in this dance? So people are happy, really happy, and they celebrate their life with a very powerful dance movement along with those choreography with those two sticks. Can you see those sticks on the floor? She will be using it as her props during the dance performance. So without taking much of the time, this is going to be her first performance. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together to welcome Monik Pachil.
Hey,
of Essex. I don't know, is it Madam, Your Royal Highness, Your Royal Majesty? Sidra Khan, representing Lord Lieutenant of Essex, Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me here today. I'm Sidra Naim. I was the first Deputy Lord Lieutenant in Essex from the BAME community. And today I'm actually representing the Lord Lieutenant, which in turn then represents the King. So I'm very, very privileged actually to be in this position. I'm also one of the consultants actually for Basildon Side by Side as well. So I'm here really as a double role. So I'm part of Basildon Side by Side and I'm Deputy Lieutenant as well. So welcome to the celebration of the 2nd year anniversary of Basildon Side by Side. And also we're very privileged actually to have this opportunity to mix with the largest diverse group in Basildon. It is really, really important. Inclusion and diversity is very, very important in Essex, and we are actually really privileged to have representation here from the BAME communities in leadership roles. You know, we've got an ex-mayor, we've got a deputy mayor, you know, we've got doctors, we've got a police officer here, got deputy lieutenant here from the BAME community, and I think that is so good and really, really nice, really, and a privilege to be in those positions. But also, I do feel that the world is changing, and it's actually groups like this, really, that help us to get the BAME community stronger, and then so that we can then build a platform on which we can showcase all our talents, and then in turn get to the top positions. And a lot of our community are doing so much hard work, but it's not televised enough. It's not out there, you know, in the newspapers. I myself have had so many problems. You know, when I became the first Deputy Lieutenant and I went to the newspapers with a picture of myself with the Queen, it didn't get in the newspaper because they said, good news is no news, they said to me. So it was very, very difficult. I had to complain actually 3 times to the chair of the newspaper, and then eventually they put my picture in. But any bad, it gets in the front page newspapers very quickly, and any good you do, it never gets in there. So we never have a platform in which to speak and also to portray all the good things that we are doing. So people don't know anything that we do. So groups like this are very, very important. So Basildon Side by Side was actually stemmed from Black Lives Matter, which I was a very big part of, because I was actually one of the speakers in the biggest Black Lives movement that happened, and the big place in Essex in the park, and I actually gave one of the big speeches there, and it actually went viral. So Basildon Side by Side is a social movement that has been specifically set up to help improve the lives of Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities who work, live and visit the Basildon borough. The movement also aims to bridge the societal gap that currently exists in our community. Its mission is to create an enabling environment that supports individuals, groups and communities of Black, Asian and minority ethnicity to realise their potential, address social isolation, inequality and insecurity by improving the experiences of those living and working within the Basildon borough. Basildon Side by Side is led by the local BAME community and supported by allies from diverse backgrounds who are all working together to seek this positive change. The organisation focuses on 6 key themes, which are education, economic development, health and well-being, hate crime and policing, community cohesion and engagement, working with young people. So we look forward to welcoming you to Basildon and the celebration of our diverse communities. and we look forward to listening to more talks from reputable speakers. We're all really looking forward to the food and drinks, which is the best part, from diverse communities, and watching more cultural entertainment and performances and the big celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Deputy Lord Lieutenant. I always love the way Sidra dresses. And she owes me an outfit, actually. I don't think you remember, but you do owe me an outfit. I'm saying it so because it's public now. You have to buy me an outfit. Okay. So just moving on very quickly, we're very honoured to have in our presence today the leader of Basildon Council, Councillor Andrew Baggott, who's going to also say a word or two about Basildon Side by Side and what we bring to the community as we are in partnership with Basildon Council. So please welcome the leader of Basildon Council, Councillor Andrew Baggott.
I want to welcome everybody here and to thank everybody for attending. It's good to see such a wide and broad depth of the community of East Basildon. What I wanted to do tonight was just to share with you a story. It is a horribly mangled fable from Native American folklore. And it concerns a young boy who went to school and got into a fight and was sent home. Now, being sent home, his grandfather, who was ashamed of the tribe, called him in before the fire and said, "Grandson, why have you shamed our nation? Why have you shamed us by being sent home?" And he said, "Well, I was at school, and this boy at school started calling me names. He insulted the color of skin. He made jokes about us as a race. So I attacked him. I got sent home." And the shaman said, "Son," he said, "in all of us, there are two bears fighting. The one is dark, full of hate and anger and intolerance. And the other, the second bear, is full of love and compassion and tolerance. And those two bears fight in all of us every single day." And the boy looked at his grandfather and said, "Well, which one wins?" The shaman looked at the boy and he said, "Son," he said, "the one that wins is the one you feed. Let us feed the second bear now and always and spread compassion, love and tolerance to all our communities." Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to welcome the former mayor of Basildon, David Breton Sampson, to come and share a word. And why is he here tonight? We're here, it's actually more of an honor because when he was mayor of Basildon Council at the time, he gave a lot of support to this movement. So it wouldn't be right to do this event without him. Please welcome with me the former mayor of Basildon Council, the first BAME to be the mayor of Basildon, David Breton Sampson.
And I am absolutely honoured to be here this evening. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how Side by Side came to be, and just also some of the challenges that I still view for the future. Now, when George Floyd was murdered, and he was murdered, let's be very clear about that, in May 2020, everybody went into hysteria. This is terrible and quite right too. And the Black Lives Matter movement started. Now, I was mayor at the time, as Yetunde pointed out, and I was thinking we need to do something different here in Basildon. We need to do something that's not just lighting up a building, that's going to be turned off next week, that's not just doing a symbolic gesture like taking the knee, and yes, that was really important that people did, but that was a symbolic gesture. We need to do something that's going to be more long-term, that's going to make a real difference to the Basildon community. Because Andrew will say exactly the same as councillors, that's all we want to do. We want to make a difference to this community. So, I spoke to some people and we decided to pull together as many members of the diverse community we have onto a call. And we had a Zoom call. We were in the middle of the pandemic. We were getting used to Zoom and we all got on Zoom. And we talked about people's fears. We talked about people's concerns. We talked about the issues that people had. And then we continued to meet and eventually we decided to create this social movement for change that was led by the community, not by the council. And that's really important, because I'll say something now, this should never be a political football. Never should it be a political football. People's futures as a person, a resident, a member of this community, whoever you are, should be taken seriously. And that's why I'm so pleased to see Basildon Side by Side now 2 years old, and this social movement really gaining pace driven by the community. Because guess what? Black Lives Matter has fizzled out. Nobody's taking the knee anymore. Nobody's lighting buildings anymore. And the injustices to the BAME community, sadly, are still happening. But in Basildon, we are now, through this wonderful organisation led by these wonderful people, doing everything we can to create opportunity for everybody, whoever they are. And that's really important. We need to make sure that people don't feel like they've got that knee on their neck. I felt it. And I'm going to be quite frank with you, I'm going to share something with you tonight I've never shared. My former job, before I went self-employed 3 years ago, my boss had his knee on my neck. It was the worst 3 years of my life working for that boss, because he did everything to make sure that I could not go higher in that organisation. He had his knee on my neck. And it didn't matter what my ability was, he hid my ability from people within that organisation who could have furthered my career. Now, that shouldn't be happening. That organisation is very progressive, but still the board of directors are still all white. The non-exec directors, well, the board of directors or the non-exec, forget it, they're all still all white and mainly men. Where's the diversity? Where can I break through? Where can I see myself in those roles? But look at this room tonight. Look at this room. You've got the first ever female BAME deputy mayor of this borough. You've got the first former BAME mayor of this borough. You've got a Deputy Lord Lieutenant there, who's from the BAME community, the first ever. You've got a fantastic doctor sat here, serving this community, not just as a doctor, but as a representative of the community. You've got an amazing member of the police force sat here. These people are representing, these people are from the BAME community, and the young people can see us in these positions and see that this is possible. And that is so important, that people see representation, that that glass ceiling is taken away, that that knee is taken off the neck, so that people can thrive and be their true authentic self and reach their true potential of what they're here on this earth for. So I'm delighted that Side by Side and those who lead it are taking this forward, that they are working on these 6 thematic groups that we set 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and they are still here working because they are the right things to be working on. Absolutely, create an opportunity through education, through relationships with the police force. Let's be honest, for the BAME community, it's been difficult. And we're really breaking through here in Essex. In my role as chair of the independent advisory group working with the police, I can see the real desire of Essex Police to break through and support the BAME community, not be seen as an enemy to the BAME community. Vitally important. Why do people turn to crime? Because that's what they've seen. They've always been pushed to the bottom of society. And the only way to get out of that is to get into crime, drug dealing and so on and so forth. That's because they've not been shown the opportunities that really could exist for them. So these thematic groups, I think Tunde said it before, is about helping young people realise their potential. Because when we're dead and buried, we're no longer the future, sadly. Yeah? We are about making sure that the future is better than what it is today. So, congratulations side by side. Thank you, Dr. Upaka. Thank you, Tunde. Thank you, Ronnie, because I know you're involved. Thank you, Lady Sidra, for everything you've done, and everybody else in this room who's contributing. Keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing this movement continuing to grow. And I'll see you at your 10th anniversary.
Okay, thank you so much, David. It's really good to have you here. One of the reasons why we are still standing in 2 years of being in this movement is because we have the financial backing that we have. And one of the things that David said was his employer had his knee on his neck and he wouldn't allow him to rise up though he has the full potential. And one of the things we've been doing, especially now we are feeling the cost of living crisis, is we've started to empower the community. So myself and Dr. Upaka have been training people in what we know, and we know that we can help them to thrive in those little professions that they are all in. So we've been training people in project management, empowering them so that they can move higher, so that they can demonstrate that even if the employer won't do it, there's somebody in the community that is there to empower them, to give them the confidence that they can rise. So we've done project management, we've done leadership, and we've done how to help people to get into the health sector, the NHS, which is where, of course, Dr. Upaka is a doctor. He works in the NHS and we get the movement moving in the right direction. So on that note, our financial backers that
So Ruth has been supporting diverse communities in Basildon. It's not just side by side. So yes. Yeah. Okay.
I just want to quickly introduce all the thematic group leads. Reverend David is thematic group lead for community engagement. We had Mr. Mike here a few minutes ago. He's gone outside. He's leading on the public relations and marketing. We've got Mr. Uche, who's our project manager. Mr. Uche, can you stand up? Mr. Ike is leading on the thematic group lead for education. The main man. And we've got Mr. Felix, who leads on social economic factors. Special lady, Carol. She makes the clock turn. she makes everybody turn. She makes Dr. Upaka jump. She makes me sing, and she makes Dr. Ray go silent. So she keeps us all in check. And of course, we've got our, how should I say it, special advisors, Rani King, who used to be leading the academic until the so Ryan, it's good to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Our Deputy Lord Lieutenant is one of our special advisors as well. And one of the other special advisors we've got is Sandra Kerr, because we've actually registered the organization with it was the Prince of Wales then, but he's the King now. His organization for diversity. We're organized by that. And why are we working with Sandra Kerr? She was very interested in Basildon Side by Side because she was part of the mini launch. And she thought what she saw there was phenomenal. She said she's never seen anything like that across the UK, and she actually wants to take the model that we're using in Basildon Side by Side and roll it out, make sure it's rolled out across the UK. So we've got her as one of the most senior special advisor working with us, just to make sure that we keep on nailing that BAME community aspects of it. So without further ado, I'm going to invite back Mona Deepa, who's going to be introduced back by Dr. Ray.
Performance of Mona Deepa. I think what we are talking here is prevailing the goodness within us, and that's what the dance performance is all about. Her dance performance is a classical fusion. In this dance piece, she will depict the beauty and power of Goddess Durga. As per Indian mythology, Goddess Durga was incarnated in different avatars to protect her people from demons, the way a mother protects her kids. Through this performance, Mona Deepa wants to encourage all women who are playing multiple roles and working so hard in their daily life to take care of their family. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together once again to welcome Mona Deepa in this fabulous Indian classical fusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Monirima. Really, really very powerful performance. And I think all of us has picked up what she tried to say. Like, it's talking about the bad things in the society and then how the women are doing the multitasking. I'm not negating that the men does not do. Men does do multitasking. And it is so beautifully predicted and beautifully she has depicted the whole thing. Hats off to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Only do my job properly if everyone comes and so that I can make sure that my officers and my staff are more deployed effectively. I end on one final thing. I know earlier we had a fantastic show from celebrating the Chinese New Year. So thank you so much. That was wonderful to watch outside, and despite the weather and the cold, it was a fantastic I had to check, but I do know that this year is the year of the rabbit, which is as I understand it, is the luckiest of all of the animals that the Chinese New Year represent. And it represents peace and it represents hope. And I wanted to end really on that note to kind of say that, we're all here together. It is about celebrating our diversity, all of the best of what we have in Basildon and in Essex and indeed in the rest of the country. And peace and hope is absolutely something that I want us all to make sure that we remember for today. Thank you for coming, and please don't forget to speak to me about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We do a lot of stuff. One of the things that we're doing with the police actually is we're trying to roll out cadets with our young people. So
very unique, and that's what we have on the table. So as you cut the cake, we want to say big congratulations and many more fruitful years ahead. So congratulations.
okay, so can we invite the thematic group please to join us please? Mr. Michael.
See, this is a good right at the front where you can focus in.
Okay, can we have your advisors? Sidra, Rani. Okay, so on behalf of the Mayor of Basildon, Councillor Luke Mackenzie, I'm here today to say congratulations to Basildon Side by Side on your 2nd year anniversary. It's been amazing what you've been doing throughout the year. It's been an honor for Luke and I to be part of some of the celebrations. But together we want to say, even though I'm part of Basildon Side by Side, which is why I didn't start off the day, I started off the day without my chain, because Dr. Parker said, you have to do it. Thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing for the baby community in Basildon. We appreciate you. We wish you many more years of success, and we look forward to a more diverse, more integrated community in Basildon. Thank you all for coming to celebrate with them this evening. We appreciate you all. For those of you that are coming to Basildon for the very first time, we say welcome. This is the place to be. If you want to live and work here, we will welcome you with wide open arms and give you a hug. Basildon is the new London, so you're all welcome. Thank you so much. God bless you. That's from me, not from you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and no doubt we'll see you sometime soon in the community. Bye for now.